And there, John just gave me the finger, so it must be time to start. Welcome to Vision, and we're so glad you're here. With your masks on, I'm just going to pretend you're all smiling, and I'll just know that for myself too. But we're going to stand and do some affirmations to get us started. Emma Curtis Hopkins people out there, right? I am that I am. I am the life of God. Love is what I am. I am the life of God. Love is what I am. The love that God is, I am. The love that God is, I am. Unbound, unlimited, and free. The life of God is life in me. I am that I am. The joy that God is, I am. The joy that God is, I am. Unbound, unlimited, and free. The life of God is life in me. I am that I am. I am the life of God. Love is what I am. I am the life of God. Love is what I am. The love that God is, I am. The love that God is, I am. Unbound, unlimited, and free. The life of God is life in me. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am the life of God.
Oh, good Lord. That works, right? Whew. Good morning, Vision. How are you? How's everybody? We're here and we're there. Good morning, Vision community at home. It is so good to be together, virtually, actually, all of it. We love seeing each other. I know that you're there as well, and just being one in this large and loving community that we are. So, before we do anything else, we know that we pray in, because we bookend everything that we do in prayer, just absolutely centering ourselves and knowing that we are an outlet for God. So let's pray. I give great thanks for this day, for coming together, for this community called Vision, for knowing our oneness, ourselves in spirit, and knowing our oneness with each other. We know that there is one life. It is God's life. It is whole and perfect and complete just as it is. We know that spirit flows through each and every one of us in joy, in love, in peace, in wisdom, and that we are the place where spirit shows up on earth, here, right here, through us as us. We are the peace of the earth. We are the love and the joy for ourselves and for each other. We are the place where spirit shows up in form, doing the work on earth that we would see done. So I am so blessed with this knowledge and wisdom. I am so blessed, and I know this community is so blessed. And as we are blessed, we are a blessing. We are a blessing to the world, knowing, loving, forgiving, and absolutely lifting the whole planet. Giving great thanks for this, I simply let it be, and so it is. You know, every once in a while I have to make those announcements that break my heart. And this is one of those mornings. But I don't want you to be blindsided when you go into meditation with your eyes closed and hear the practitioner talk about the memorial candle. So I need to tell you up front that this past week, a dear friend and charter member, founding member of Vision, Phyllis Young, made her transition. And we know absolutely love and joy. We know that life is everlasting, and like Ernest Holmes said, that we are birthless, deathless, timeless, immortal souls that move on through eternity. So I know that for her, and I know love and support for Ron. I know that we surround him and we hold him in our loving embrace as we all walk through this loss together with him and just love him through it. So we're going to do that, right? That's what we do. That's what spiritual community does. It holds each other as we move through these times of loss. So when we go into prayer and meditation in a few minutes, that's what we'll know, right? We'll know the everlasting love and joy of Phyllis still surrounds us. And we'll know love and peace for Ron as well. And this has brought something up in your heart. We have practitioners also. We have practitioners here in the room that will pray with you and for you after service. And we have practitioners online, and we have prayer request forms. Thank you, Donna. We have prayer request forms online, and we have them right here in the house. If you are looking for prayer support, you've come to the right place, right? This is the place for that support. So fill out that prayer request form, whether you're online or whether you're in the house. Fill out that prayer request form. Get prayer support before you leave here. We have the meet and greet room as well after celebration. You can go on and get one-on-one prayer in a breakout room as well. So please do that. However you would like to be supported in prayer, we are here to do that for you and with you. So please make yourself available to that. What else do I want to tell you? We have a welcome, and I know that you saw it. If you are new to Vision, you came in, and I know our welcome team is so marvelous and wonderful, headed up by Patricia Coughlin, that she probably handed you a guest packet if you're a guest. Even if you're a regular, you can give this to somebody you know in the neighborhood. So there is a guest packet, and here it is, and we give it to our guests, and we say this welcome for ourselves, and we also say it for our guests, and we say it for you at home. We know you're part of this Vision community, so vibrant, and wherever you are, right? We know that you're part of this community, vibrant and alive and loving and joyful. So let's say it together. Are you with me? Thanks. Whoever you are and wherever you are welcome here. You are safe and you are loved. And it is a loving and safe community. And I'm going to turn it over now to our celebration singers, and they are going to just love us into our time of meditation. Thank you. Take it away, singers.
And as we move into our time of meditation, let's just remind our own hearts to be still. I love the translation that reads, "Cease striving and know that I am God."
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know that you are. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know. Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know that we are. Be still and know that we are God. and know. Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know that we are. Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know.
Good morning. My name is Donna Thomas, and I'm a licensed spiritual counselor here at Vision. Please take these quotes into your heart as we move into the silence and allow the tones of the bowl to bring you into and out of our 5-minute meditation. The first quote is from Catherine Dunham. Go within every day and find the inner strength so that the world will not blow your candle out. And from our founder, Ernest Holmes, subconscious mind is the medium through which all treatment operates, and this universal subjective mind we contact within ourselves and nowhere else. As we allow the tones of the bowl to bring us out of this meditation, let us take a deep breath and breathe in spirit, and know and just release anything that is unlike spirit, and just know that right here, right now, we are all one. And the memorial candle is burning for Phyllis Young, wife of Ron Young, founding member of Vision and longtime choir member. Phyllis made her transition this last week. And we know right here, right now for Phyllis that as she moves on her upward spiral of eternal life, she is surrounded by love and the divine. And it is good, it is very good. And I know that Ron is also surrounded by the unconditional love of spirit and the divine. And this love envelops all. And I also know right here, right now, that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence in the universe. And it is God, it is the divine, it is spirit. It is all there is, right here, right now, right where we are. And I know that each one of us is an individualized expression of this one, breathing in and breathing out the oneness of divine, of the spirit, right here, right now. And it is good, it is very good. And I know and accept right here, right now, that today is a divinely inspired day. It is directed by the infinite. And I know that healing is done this very instant on all levels, whatever they may be. And it is good. It is very good. And on this beautiful day, it can only become better because each of us is a part of it. Each of us is a part of this magnificence of the universe. And we exude that magnificence in every breath that we take, with every person that we meet, with everyone, with everything with whom we come in contact. It is good, it is very good, for we are God beings expressing and receiving from other God beings, and I am thrilled to be a part of this oneness. And I know and accept today that as we are all divinely inspired, our musicians are inspired, our hospitality team is inspired, our practitioners, our audio-visual team, all are inspired with the connectedness that we all are. And I know that Reverend Patti is blessed by all of us in this community and by the divine, and her words that are spoken today are heard and accepted in the intention of which they were given. And it is also good. It's a blessing to be a part of this. And as I give thanks for this knowing that all is good right here, right now, I release these words into law, knowing that they are made manifest and they never return void. And I am so grateful to let it go and let it be. And so it is.
Our guests today are wise, and they are brave, and they have big hearts, and they literally live on the yellow brick road. And does Barry have his ruby slippers on today? No?
No.
So, okay. Please welcome Cahill and Delene.
Thank you. Well, keeping with the theme of the meditation, we're going to do one of our songs called In the Silence. And this was a song that I was inspired to write after being exposed to the work of Eckhart Tolle. How many of you have checked him out? If you haven't, make it a point. He talks about an experience he had when all of a sudden his mind stopped talking. And this then opened up a whole new world for him. So that's essentially what this song is about. You guys ready? You ready? 3, 4.
Run In the silence I am one. In the silence I am whole. In the chatter of my mind, life was spinning out of control. So I let go, I let it go, and I go to my home, and I live in the silence forevermore. I used to think I was smart. In my head, not my heart. Then one day my mind stood still. More or less it's like that still. I saw the light that shines around us. Felt the love here to remind us to let go. I let it go, and we go to our home, and we live in the silence forevermore. So we let go, we let it go, and we go to our home, and we live in the silence. We forgive in the silence. Yes, we live in the silence forevermore.
Oh boy, so much to do. It's August. We have a new month. We are in a new month. We are in a new theme. August's theme is a pause for guidance. And does that not sound wonderful? Holy moly, after everything that we have been through all these months, to just, because I don't care how you describe yourself, you're an introvert, you're an extrovert, you're a type A, you're a type B, whatever. This has been a trying time for us to walk through, regardless. I was talking to my son about it just the other day, and I said, I bet you the first couple of months, boy, introverts were loving that, Holy moly, we get to stay home and not see anybody, yay, But even they're getting tired of it, And of course, extroverts, we were like, we're locked at home, and just freaking out, and yet we've gotten used to it, But there's just, wow, it's taken a lot. And there is underlying stress, and there's just this having to walk through this thing that none of us have ever experienced before, and finding our way through it. Give yourself a break. It was a lot, and it is a lot, and it's still going on. So just this pause for guidance is like, this could not have come at a more perfect time, this August theme, because this is what we need to do, isn't it? This is what we need to do. We need to take a break. This pause for guidance. Don't you feel that? You feel that? Wow, I got to really, really, really take a pause. And today's talk is called Go Within, because we need this break. We need this break to go within. We stop all our busyness, and we stop the business, and we stop the doing, and we stop the accomplishing, and the striving, and the reaching, and the trying. We just stop. Just stop for a few minutes and go within. And isn't that the story in the Bible of Jesus at Samaria, right? He sits at the well. He goes to the well, sits down. He was tired of the journey. He was tired of the teaching. He was tired of the transforming. He was tired of all the questions. He was just tired. And he sat on the well. And that was that. He just sat there. And he took a time out for himself. And that's what we need to do. Right? That's what that story was about. Take a break. Right? And this is the place, and Emma Curtis Hopkins said it in her Bible interpretations book. She said, where he sits down and he rests. Because the prayers that you have prayed and the true words that you have said will be unto you the living waters. Right? You've done the work. You're praying, you're meditating, you're doing all the work. She goes on to say, you have done the best you could, seemingly all to no purpose. Put on your best clothes and sit down and wait for the heavenly guest who is to pass over your heavenly threshold that day. You take the break. There comes a time when we have to give ourselves this time out, this pause for guidance, the pause for refreshment. Even though we have not yet had a demonstration, perhaps we have to stop all the doing and wait upon Spirit to do its job, Right? So what's the first thing that we do? The first thing we're told to do is pray. So we do that. First and foremost, we pray. Whether it's a new undertaking, whether it's a new decision we have to make, whether it's a job that needs doing, whether it's an application that needs filling out, whether it's a garden we need to dig, no matter what the job is before us, right? Everything begins in prayer. We know this. Everything begins in prayer, and so we do that. And we sit in meditation and we receive. We receive what? Inspiration. We receive intuition, we receive direction, whatever that is, right? And then we pray to give direction to the law. Okay, now I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Here we direct the law to support us in this thing. And the law begins to create. That's what it does. And we in prayer are also given guidance about the things that we need to do to make manifest this undertaking, right? We don't just pray and then sit in our apartment and go, okay, well, the garden's going to build itself. There is that physical thing that we have to do. But the stuff that doesn't get manifested right away, we don't have to go, come on, God, where are you? Or go into that, this doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, right? No, we have to just take that time. We just have to take that time out. We've done everything we can, right? We started in prayer. We went to meditation. We went to prayer again. We did what we needed to do. We did the move the feet part. We're still not seeing maybe a complete demonstration or what it is we really, truly think that we want. Think that we want is always the thing. Take a breath. Take a break. Take time to sit at the well, right? You've done your assignment. You've completed your moving of the feet. Now is your time to wait upon Spirit. Don't force yourself to go on. And we usually do, don't we? There's got to be something else for me to do. There's got to be some other thing I can do to make this happen. Right? And Jesus goes, take a minute, take a breath, sit at the well. Just inhale and exhale. Drink of the living waters. Rest. Rest. But don't doubt it's going to happen. So you take the time out, But here is your work, even in the stillness, is to take the time out, but don't ever doubt that it's happening. It hasn't manifested yet. You know this period I'm talking about, right? Hasn't manifested yet. We move into, this stuff doesn't work. It's working perfectly. Because what happens when we take that time out and we give it over to Spirit, knowing it will fill in the gap, right? When we start to doubt there, what happens? We have to start all over again. We have to start all over again in prayer. So we take the time out, but never, ever doubt. We must trust. We must pray. We must wait. Wait. Or Emma Curtis Hopkins said, Spirit will bring everything to pass. Spirit will bring everything to pass for us when we give up the expectation of getting help from any other source. Now, I want to break that down because sometimes that's misinterpreted to mean we don't do anything, right? That's not what she's saying, right? We give up the expectation of getting help from any other source. Well, we know from Core Concept 1, what? God is all there is. It's about being open to the infinite possibilities, knowing that no matter what solution shows up or presents itself, whatever we're guided to, whatever we need to do, it is all God, isn't it? It's all God. It is all God, right? So there is something there for us to do, but we still need to know, no matter what it is in the doing this or the material world, it's still God, right? I broke my foot a couple of weeks ago, right? So what's the first thing I did? I prayed. No, I did not. I cursed up a blue streak. Holy moly. I swear to God, truckers within 10 miles were blushing. A stream of invectives just is like issued forth from me. Holy moly. Okay, then I prayed. And I prayed, and I moved my foot. I moved my foot. I wasn't really moving both feet. Now, the thing is, I went to the medical community, right, for assistance. Does not mean that's not God. That's still God, right? I prayed, that's God. I went to the medical community, that's God. I took their advice, that's God. I got a cute little shoe, that's God. I did all of the things knowing that too is Spirit. Brought in the medical community, God attended to. The healing is God's responsibility, right? The healing is God's responsibility. I rest in the Lord and I allow it to come to pass, right? That doesn't mean you do nothing. It means you do what you're supposed to do. You do your part. You do the move your feet part. Then you rest in the Lord and you allow it to come to pass. And isn't that where we get confused? What should I do? And when should I do it? And when should I rest? And how do I know? You and I court the presence. That's how we know. We're always listening, right? The theme, right? Listen, right? What is it? Take a time out for guidance? I don't even remember. A pause for guidance. And this talk is go within. We listen for direction. We listen for guidance. And we are always listening. We don't pay attention a lot of times. But there's a part of us that's always listening, right? There is that seed of perfection, Walt Whitman said, nestled within us, that is always listening, right? There's always that part of us that it absolutely knows its oneness with Spirit. And it's always open and available. And we get busy and we stop listening, but there is always a part of us that's listening. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else because it's your divine guidance. And when you're listening and when it comes through and when you move on that, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. It's your guidance. It's your path. It's your divinity moving you in a particular direction. You need to listen. You need to listen, and you need to take it seriously. Ernest Holmes, it's funny, Ernest Holmes was always asked about being a good speaker, right? Because in his time, boy, everybody loved his talks. And he was always asked about being a good speaker, and he gave the usual advice. He said, I always say, I think a good voice would help, right? So I think a good technique and some training helps. These things you can get to some degree. But I always say, remember this. If you've got everything it takes objectively, all the personality and the culture and know all the words will flow out just terrific, there's still one rule you must never ever desert. Say what you are listening to and never listen to what you're saying. Say what you are listening to and never ever listen to what you're saying. And then he said, some will get it and some won't. And I absolutely know this to be true. I absolutely know this to be true. I will write all these notes. I got pages and pages of notes here, and I'll write down quotes and I'll research things and I'll over-research things and I work on talks forever. And some of it I say and some of it I don't say. And I don't know what it is I say and what I don't say when I finally say it. Up here, on the platform in front of the lectern, because I'm saying what I'm listening to more than I'm listening to what I'm saying. And I know that all of you that do this work as well know exactly what I'm talking about. We need to go within and we need to listen and we need to respect that and honor that and do what that is. We need to take those pauses in our life. That big inhale and exhale. Take a break and absolutely listen to that guidance. I'm going to go back to another Bible story. Jesus with the adulterous woman, right? Great story. I think it's John 8. So the group accuses the woman of adultery. I love the fact that they don't accuse the guy, too. Where the heck is the guy, Anyway, that's just my thing. But they drag her before Jesus, all these guys, and they ask Jesus, what should be done with her because she has sinned? And it's a trap question, right? It was a trap question for Jesus, because if he said she should be stoned, right, then Jesus is breaking the Roman law because Jews were not allowed to execute on their own. They needed permission. And if he said let her go, well, he's soft on crime, and we know how that goes. All right, and he's also breaking Moses' law, which was she has to be stoned. So it was either way, they were setting him up to lose on this particular question. And what does he do? He bends down and he starts writing in the dirt with his finger. Now, nowhere in the Bible does it say what he wrote, whether he was writing out maybe the sins of the accusers, maybe like he was writing in the dirt. I've seen you steal stuff. I've seen you, maybe he was writing that. Maybe he was just doodling for time. They don't ever say what he was doing in the dirt with his finger, scrolling. But whatever it was, maybe he was just stalling for time. Maybe he was just taking a pause for guidance. Maybe he was just listening to his inner wisdom, taking that time out to listen, to get guidance, and to respond. And then when he does respond, man, it was the mic drop of all time, wasn't it? Just like that. Let he who is without sin, right? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Man, those guys couldn't back up fast enough. They just left town, right? But he went within. There was silence. There was whatever that was in the dirt. Who knows what it was, right? But it was a time out. It was a time out of silence for guidance. It was whatever it was. Before responding, go within. Ernest Holmes says, God speaks when we listen. God is there when we open the door. And when we listen, there's a response from something greater than ourselves. That is our infinite person, the limitless possibility. God speaks whenever and wherever we listen to our inner voice. And that will never steer you wrong, will it? You've heard it. You've heard that still small voice when you're in the quiet, in meditation time. And, it could be just a feeling. It may not even be words, but it's a direction or it's a feeling. And that's what is so important about taking those times out for ourselves. We must take the time out. We must sit in the silence. We know that there is guidance there. Take the time out and allow it to reveal what is on your path. Okay, fast forward to now. Simone Biles. All of a sudden, she's simultaneously admired and reviled, isn't she? for stepping away from her role in the Olympics. And there are people out there that are saying she let her team down. She took someone else's spot on the team. I've heard it all, right? She went all the way until her body and her mind went to war with each other. And in sports, they call this the twisties. If you are familiar with these sports where people throw their bodies around, whether it's diving or gymnastics or whatever, when they're in midair and they're doing twists and tumbles, there's a thing called the twisties, cute name for a potentially deadly condition, where that orientation in space all of a sudden deserts them, and they don't know where they are in the air, and they can have disastrous consequences. And that's what she experienced when she tried those first vaults at the Olympics, and she knew she would get broken if she tried to press through. She listened to that internal guidance. Elena Mukova did not. She knew she could not execute that jump 15 years ago. 15 was it now? I don't remember. And she told her coach, and her coach goes, push through, you can do it. And she fell and she broke her neck and she's paralyzed, right? Yulissa Gomez did the same thing. And her coach told her the same thing. She wasn't feeling comfortable with her jump. She wasn't feeling comfortable. It's not working right. And her coach told her, go out and do it. Come on, you got this. You got this, as coaches do. And she fell, and she became a quadriplegic, and she's since died from her injuries. You got this. You can do it. This relentless pursuit of gold. Gold. The analogy writes itself, for God's sakes, you know? And isn't that what we do in our individual lives, kind of on a daily basis? The relentless pursuit for gold kills, right? The analogy just writes itself. We are ignoring our own inner wisdom in pursuit of gold in the form of salary, right? Pressing forward for that promotion, the bonus, the corner office, the call for more, right? He who dies with the most toys wins. No, he who dies with the most toys is still dead, you know? We ignore our own inner guidance. Take the time out. You need this. It is worth more than gold to keep yourself healthy, to keep your body healthy. So Simone Biles stepped back before she got hurt. I absolutely applaud her for that. I think she's the greatest role model for young women now. Naomi Osaka did the same thing in professional tennis, didn't she? She stepped away rather than have the breakdown that she saw coming. Aria Luna is a professional painter. She's an artist. She has works hanging all around the world. And Google headquarters has works at her. On Pier 39 in San Francisco, there's a big work of hers that's there. In Europe, she has gallery openings. In South America, she has gallery openings. She's had TV shows and interviews all over the world. And at the height of her career, she told her mother, I don't want to do this anymore. Aria Luna is 10 years old. She's 10 years old. And as her mom, who is her promoter and her manager and wants to be the cheerleader and wants to be the coach, and you can do this and you got this, for the continued fame and for the continued money and for the continued exposure, instead she listened to her daughter. And she let her daughter listen to her own inner wisdom. And they took the time out. That's it. She just took the time out. She stopped painting. There is more to life than the gold. You know, it just is. So she took the time out. You know, she is painting again, by the way. But she just needed that. Her inner wisdom told her, and her mother listened, right? That's what we need to do. You know, there's an old urban story. Well, it's not old, probably. It's not old. I don't know how old it is. Anyway, it comes from a book, Doorways to the Soul, by Alyssa Davy Pearmain. She said a man and a woman were walking down the city street, and you know city streets, right? New York City, San Francisco, loud and noisy, and horn blaring, and people shuffling, and all kinds of stuff. And as they're walking down the street, the woman says, I hear a cricket. And the guy looks at her and goes, no, you don't. You can't possibly hear a cricket. It's like, you know, think of Midtown Manhattan, right? She says, no, I hear a cricket. And she crosses the street, and she goes to one of those, those big, squares in the cement where the trees come out, and she pushes some of the grass and probably, trash away, and there's a cricket. There's a cricket cricking. Cricket cricking. And he's like, how could you possibly hear that? And she takes her hand, and she puts her hand in her pocket, and she takes out a bunch of coins, and she just drops the coins on the ground, and people all around her turn to listen, to look for where the noise of money was coming from. And she tells her friend, see, it's all a matter of what you're listening for. It's all a matter of what you're listening for. Take that pause for guidance. Stop. When you think you've done everything you can do, you've prayed, you've meditated, you maybe haven't gotten the demonstration yet, sit at the well. Take the time. Go within. Your inner guidance, knows. It knows. Everything is fine. It's coming. It's on the way. Spirit has it handled. Don't doubt. Sit in faith and sit in love and sit in joy and sit in that what Ernest Holmes used to say, joyous expectation, right? That joyous expectation. It's coming. Ernest Holmes said this, the best way to arrive at the highest consciousness is to have great faith in the willingness and the ability of life to do for us by working through us. There, through the door of our own thought, we enter into the universal consciousness, into a complete realization of life and truth, of love and beauty, and as we sit in the silence of our own souls and listen, it'll be the greatest thing that we will ever do. In the completeness, we are lost, and yet we are found. This is what is meant by a person must lose his life in order to find it. We are lost to the human and found in the divine. Take the time. Go within. Listen. Listen to the voice of wisdom that is you, that is your higher self. That voice of wisdom will save you money. It'll save your relationships. It'll save your time. And it'll save your life. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. I love that story of Jesus and the adulteress. There's actually a little-known version in one of the Apocrypha that as he's asking the crowd, he who was out without sin should throw the first stone, this little old lady comes pushing through the crowd and just beans this woman right on the head. And Jesus turns to her and says, Mom, sometimes.
I've never heard you tell that joke before. I've been living with this man for 34 years.
My mother told me that joke when I was a kid. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Resuscitate that one. Okay, so going within. Going within. This next song is about that. And it's about going within, just to find out what kind of a gift you've got to give the world. Everybody has something that's uniquely theirs. And going within is the best way to figure that out. And maybe you have figured it out, but then you're asking yourself, well, okay, now that I got this, what's next? So.
Barry wrote the song, and you're welcome to sing and dance along. What have you got to give?
A one, a two, a one, two. Look inside you, what do you see? The gift you've got to give the world to set it free. Listen to you, hear what you say. You're asking just what have I got to give away? Well, maybe it's a new invention, or the book that just won't wait. But all your good intention won't put it on the plate. What have you got to
give? What have you got to give? What have you got to give? Look all around you. What do you see? A world in need of so much love from you and me. What's your reason? What's your excuse? You say one man can't change the world, so what's the use? What about Mother Teresa, John F. Kennedy? What about Mahatma Gandhi? Now how about you and me? Look above you. What do you know? Heaven at our fingertips. The world needs to be sure. Listen deeply now to your inner voice. Rise up to the calling now. It's your choice. 'Cause maybe you will be the person to set that prisoner straight upon the path to truth and freedom. Come on, don't make him wait. What have you got to give? 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 Now you positive that you got something real good to give now. Look inside yourself, reach into your soul, and you'll find that you got something great to give the world right now. What have you got to give now?
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh man, we have the best music. Thank you. Now is our time for conscious circulation. This is our opportunity to give back what we have been given. This is the idea that Spirit gives unconditionally to us and through us and as us, and then we pass it on to those people, places, and things that support us spiritually. So if this is it, this is it. This is your opportunity to give. I'm so grateful. The Core Council is just so grateful as well. It keeps us doing what we do here. You online, I know there's a big old giant donation button. It's your opportunity to give as well. Thank you for supporting this ministry, this celebration. Thank you for supporting what it is we do in the world, because it is Spirit done the way you would see it done. And so that's what we are so grateful for, and that's what we celebrate. If you are choosing to give today, and even if you're choosing not to give today, I want to go to prayer, so let's do this thing. We know that God is abundance. We absolutely know the abundance of Spirit. We know we could never outgive God, because the more we give, the more we receive. We just get into that flow of giving and receiving, and we know that we can never outgive God. There is infinite supply in the universe, and we know that Spirit supports its own expression, and we know we are that, and anything in the physical world is that. Spirit gives infinitely of love and joy, of energy, of sunshine. And we know we could never, never outdo Spirit. So we accept gratefully, we give graciously, we remain in this eternal cycle of giving and receiving with joy, with love, and with thanksgiving, mainly with gratitude. So giving thanks for all that is received here, that from all of the giving, we know it is all God, it is all good, and so it is.
So do I receive fully.
best. As I give, so do I receive, knowing how I've been blessed. God is the river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know. As I give, so do I receive. As I give, so do I receive, back to where my soul is fed. As I give, so do I receive. Thank you for my daily bread. God is the river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know. As I give, so do I receive. As I give, so do I receive.
You know, we have answered prayers all the time. If we would notice them, right? Notice them. Notice those little coincidences that happen before we even go to prayer. So what I want you to do is I want you to go about your day in the greater consciousness, just to really write those things down that happen and email them to me then, so that I can share them from the platform. Because answered prayer happens all the time. Miracle minutes happen around you all the time. The universe is conspiring to support you all the time. So what I want you to do is I want you to write them down. I want you to email them to me, revpatty@visioncsl.com, and so that I can tell our group. And what's great about that, it's like we're not being nosy, but kind of maybe, I don't know. No, we're not really being nosy. It's about keeping our motivation up. It's about keeping our energy up. It's about staying on the spiritual path, even if you have not yet had a demonstration. To know so many in our community have had those demonstrations, it just keeps us in the right state of mind, doesn't it? It keeps us uplifted and in prayer and in meditation, and then we start noticing the demonstrations around us. So please do that. And now you know what time it is, right? It's time for The Last Word by Johnny Kirko.
Hello. Hello. I want to talk a little bit about that Miracle Minute. So, in the old days, we used to do BC, we used to do Miracle Minutes in the room, and they would be impromptu. So we're asking you guys to think a little bit about this and send those prayers in, because they inspire us. They give us, this is why we do what we do, is your answered prayer is what we do. So please, if you find during the week you've got something, it could be something small, send it in. Let's hear about it, because we want to share that. We want everybody to be a part of that. Thanks. That's my info commercial for today. Virtual meet and greet, thanks Daniel, is continuing right after our celebration. Join online. If you're online, join us for that. We've got practitioners available. There's links on the website. Also, Paul's put them up there right now so you can join us and be a part of the group. Coffee Connection continues 8:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. Love to have you be a part of that. If you haven't joined yet, come in and say hi. It's an easy little group to get together. They're lovely, amazing little souls. Come and be a part of that. You'll find links on the website for that. Tomorrow night, Peter Boland's going to be right here in this room, and we are doing our first full moon Sangha in over a year and a half. So, yes, it's going to be great. So, we are doing this live as well as online. So, if you've not been a part of the full moon Sangha, join us for that. Peter does a really great meditation. It's an hour-long program. So, it's available tomorrow, 6:30, Monday evening.
August 2nd.
Did I say the 2nd?
No, it is the 2nd.
It's tomorrow night. I've lied. Just making sure you're checking that. Thanks, Delene. And it's tomorrow, August 2nd, so join us for that. Reverend Gene Phillips has a class starting up this Saturday. Reverend Gene wants to talk quickly about what we're doing. This starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Come on in.
Quick, like a bunny. Hello, hello. Yes, so it's time for class again. Yay, yay. We've missed that. I've missed that. I've missed you all. Let's get together. So this is a really great class, and in fact, I think Reverend Patty's talk today was the perfect promo for it, because it's all about, the class is perfect for if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, which I think we all have moments of. And so the class is called Opening Your Heart, a Guide to Compassionate Living. And it's all about expanding love and kindness for yourself, for others, for the world, right? And we just, there's tons of tools about how to expand and just find a greater compassion. Just greater compassion in every encounter, in every thought, in every action. So it's throughout all of ourselves and our hearts, and it's just opening hearts a little bit deeper. The classes will take place on 4 Saturday mornings this month, so from 10 a.m. to noon. And so our first class is this Saturday, August 7th. So we're going to meet here in the sanctuary. We're going to do an in-person class, but we're going to spread out. We're going to be masked. We're going to keep it really safe. But it'll be good to feel each other's energy. So looking forward to that. There are no books required. I'll be providing all the materials. The tuition is $40 for members, $45 for non-members, and you just go on the website to register. And I do hope you can all come. Thanks.
Thank you, Reverend Jean. So next week, Reverend Patti Paris will be back. Her talk title is Be Still. Be Still. And we have Rachel Drexler with the house band. It's good to have Rachel back. How about Cahill and Delene today with us? These guys are amazing. I didn't know you wrote that song. That's really cool. Nicely done. Both songs, you wrote both those songs. Nice. You guys don't have CDs available for those, huh? We do. We do? What's your website? HotPursuitMusic.com. Go there and pick up one of their CDs and say hello to them. So this is the beginning of the month. If your birthday's this month, please stand up.
Happy birthday to you.
And Jordan, Walker in the back.
Lair, what do we got today?
I have the most beautiful, delicious cake that there is. It's a marble cake with a chocolate buttermilk filling and then covered in dark chocolate buttermilk. See you at hospitality.
Thank you, Larry. Marble chocolate. You can't have that any better than that. I just wanted to say, Ron, we love you. We love Phyllis. We miss her. Love you guys.
You know what time it is now. We're going to stand up, and we're going to stand in our power, and we're going to stand in the presence of Spirit, knowing that we are one. We are absolutely connected. We cannot be not connected. Right? We cannot be not connected because we are of Spirit. And we are going to say these affirmations. We're just going to ground ourselves in the truth of them. Are they up there? Yay, they're up there. We're going to say them together. You ready? I find my center deep within my heart. All harmony is at the core of my being. With every breath, I let peace wash over me. Oh my gosh, they're all so good. You know, these come to us from Betty Brink. Betty, where are you? Thank you so much. She comes up with these affirmations, and she also comes up with the meditation quotes as well, week in and week out. Thank you so much for your work. It's amazing. It's uplifting for all of us. And which one are we saying again? 3? We're saying 3. I heard 3. Okay, you ready? With every breath, I let peace wash over me. Absolutely. Let us go within one last time here this morning in prayer, knowing that we live at the heart of God. We know that Spirit extends infinitely in all directions. So wherever we are at the heart of God. We are at the center. We know that Spirit is at the center of us as well. We are immersed in, we are filled with, we are moving through Spirit. There is no place where Spirit is absent. We know that as we walk through our day, we walk through Spirit, that it supports us, it surrounds us, it upholds us in love and in peace. And then we demonstrate that as we move through our day. We become the light that just attracts people to us for that sense of love and joy, because as we give it, we have more of it to give. And people around us just transform in our presence. We know that God is, we are, and we use that energy to transform not only our own lives, but the lives of those that we come in contact with, giving great thanks for this joy, this love, this wisdom, knowing we are God in form. I simply let it be, and so it is.